I feel like we've all at least once been abruptly woken up by the Netflix intro, you know? Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Zhariya Smith and I typically make commentary videos just like this one. Today's candle is whipped coffee, and let's just get into today's video. So today's video actually has come from my lovely little Google form that I made where I ask you guys to give me suggestions for videos, ideas that I can look into and see if I can salvage a video idea, a good video from those ideas. So if you want to comment down or comment on the Google form, I'll have it linked down below for you to give me a video idea. I promise I'm not running out of ideas. That's not what it's for. I know that I am entirely late to this topic. So many YouTubers have talked about their feelings about the situation, but I feel like that my kind of thought process on it is slightly different. So I kind of wanted to talk about Netflix losing subscribers, its stock falling. I don't even know what stocks are, but like their stock price is apparently going down, and just everything Netflix, because this is interesting to me. And actually Netflix is on my TV in the background right now. I'm not watching anything currently, but I do live in a constant state of where I need to be entertained, or else I feel like that my brain thinks too much and I have too many thoughts, so then I have to drown out the thoughts by suffocating myself with endless amounts of content. Let's get into it. Oh, also, by the way, it's like 11 o'clock p.m. right now as I'm filming this, and my lighting keeps on not lighting right. So I apologize if my lighting seems like it's not correct and something is wrong, because I agree, something is wrong. It's not giving bisexual, it's just giving sad. But the first thing that I wanted to talk about was Netflix announcing their loss in subscribers for the first quarter of 2022. So in about late April, Netflix announced, hey, for the first year ever, well, not ever, but for the first year in a while, we actually lost subscribers. Now, to preface this, I just want to say that like Netflix, I don't know if you guys remember this or whatever, but I'm like 99% sure that Netflix said that they stopped streaming in Russia, and Russia's population is insane, and I bet that they lost probably hundreds of thousands of subscribers just from Russia alone. But Netflix losing subscribers isn't something that I feel like is new. I mean, they were talking about raising their prices. Granted, I don't pay for my Netflix, which is kind of as part of the reason Netflix is going through this whole thing, but my dad pays for my Netflix because I could not pay, what is it, like $20 now a month. I already have HBO Max and I have Hulu Plus. I have too many things. I feel like that there's so many streaming platforms in general, and I think that Netflix has an issue with trying to keep our attention. And one of the things that was great about Netflix was the fact that there were no ads, and the fact that you could share your profile with as many people, and it was great. And Netflix saying that they are going to kind of strike down on sharing accounts and making it so that people who don't live in the same IP address or whatever it is, I don't know how they would regulate that, that they are saying that you can only have your Netflix account for one IP address, and if you try to log in separate places, it's not going to work. One, I go to hotels, not, I guess, for when I traveled before, and I would log into Netflix on the TV in the hotel. Does that mean that suddenly I can't watch Netflix in the hotel? What about my phone? I'm not always at home when I'm on my phone watching Netflix, so then what about that? Also, it's like I used to live with my dad, I don't anymore, so suddenly does that mean that even though he's my father and I have my health insurance under him, but I can't have the same Netflix as him? That just seems a little bit weird, you know? So I think that Netflix doing all of these things and raising its prices and trying to have an ad mode, which, oh my gosh, Netflix is trying to have a lesser paid subscription where you get to watch ads, and the whole thing about Netflix is not watching ads and them saying like, we don't need ads. So I guess this is the next point that I wanted to get into, which is that Netflix has an issue of keeping bad content and canceling good content. Now, I'm a Netflix girly. I will watch Hulu and I watch HBO Max mostly to rewatch Studio Ghibli movies. But one thing that I loved about Netflix is its TV shows. Netflix originals are some of my favorite shows. Like, I remember I begged to get Netflix so that I could watch House of Cards, because Kevin Spacey used to be my favorite actor. Not anymore because of things that he has done, but I wanted to watch House of Cards, so I literally begged my dad to get Netflix so that I could watch House of Cards. So I'm a Netflix girl, and I always have been. I probably always will be. And I even, well, not right now, but on my screen currently, what I'm looking at is a Pause, I'm a Murderer. I've been rewatching that. But Netflix has had some amazing shows that they have let, finish, which is great. Like BoJack Horseman, Queen's Gambit. Like, the amount of good Netflix shows are insane. However, the amount of good Netflix shows that actually get a second season or get a proper finish is very rare. I know that how TV shows work. They try to see how many people are watching it, if it's viable to keep, and like whatever. But some shows I can understand why they canceled. Like the one show, what was it? Everything Sucks, with like Sydney Sweeney, that got canceled. Understandable. Sydney Sweeney's like 25 years old, and her love interest was like a 16-year-old girl. That seems kind of not right morally, so I can understand that. But canceling shows like I'm Not Okay With This, or God, I can't think of anything right now off the top of my head, but I will put some on the screen of some Netflix shows that just got straight up canceled. The point is Netflix has a tendency to not gauge what is good shows and what is bad shows because of kind of this culture, and I'm a part of this too, that we have on the commentary community on YouTube. You might be like, why would you say that, Zhariya? And I'm saying this because I think that we're in this constant loop where creators will see a bad movie, or an objectively bad movie, a cringy movie, whatever it is. Like Kissing Booth. Kissing Booth isn't a bad movie, but it's just like a little bit cringy, and we see, why is Kissing Booth getting 3 movies, but my favorite show is getting canceled? And I think that us creators, we like to entertain, that's the whole vibe that we have. And I love doing my little movie reviews and TV show reviews, and it's my favorite thing to do. However, I think that we have a tendency to kind of seek out the worst shows. Like, for instance, if you've noticed, I've gotten requests to make a video on Ultimatum, but I haven't because I think it's cringy. There's really nothing for me to add at this point because it's been out for so long, and I couldn't get through episode 1. Like, I got through, I want to say 20 minutes, and I was like, nah, this isn't for me, But I think that Netflix has this culture of having these really cringy, bad TV shows, and those shows get greenlit for, another season, and those shows have running, and it's because YouTubers and people talk about those cringy shows, and that's what people are watching. They're watching their favorite YouTuber talk about how bad a movie is, and then they go and watch the movie, like Tall Girl, or I don't know, what's a movie? I don't know, Babysitter. I don't know, but the point is that Netflix will put out really good shows, but those good shows, one, aren't particularly marketable, and then also are overshadowed by the amount of bad, cringy content that they have that are Netflix originals that get kind of pushed to the front because people are talking about it more. Squid Game is one of those shows that's an exception to where it's getting another season, and I think that people talk about it so much, but not in a way of like, look at how cringy this movie or TV show is. It's like, look at how great this Netflix show is, and then streaming in general has transformed so much, and Netflix was kind of like the forefront of that, and we have other things like Disney Plus, HBO Max, Hulu Plus are like the big boys. And I think that while those other platforms just do what Netflix does, just slightly better, that it's having issues, Next, I kind of wanted to get into my little theory, my little synopsis. This is going to sound so very weird analogy, but this is the only way I can let you into my brain so you can know where I'm coming from. So how in 2020, in 2021, and like now, Shein, the clothing fashion retailer, has had a huge boom in popularity, right? Shein will have new collections come out every single day. thousands of clothing items come out every single day on Shein. You purchase it, it's like $5 for a shirt. You wear it for 2 days and then it breaks, and then you don't feel bad because, hey, I didn't even care about it. It was only $5, right? Netflix. Netflix doesn't release shows every single day, but Netflix has such a huge amount of content that they put out to the point to where I lose track. There are some Netflix originals that I've been trying to find, but it takes me a little bit to get there because of all of the fluff that I see. Like, I feel like Netflix is the fast fashion of the streaming industry. That's a quote. That's an interesting quote. But I think that Netflix just has so much stuff, you know, and I think Netflix, like, again, what was I watched recently? Inside Job. Great show, you know, like Netflix, it's not an issue of Netflix making good shows or bad shows. I think that the bad shows get talked about more, and then Netflix is like, hey, let's make a cringy TV show. Let's reboot She's All That with Addison Rae, and they gave her a Netflix deal, you know, because she brings in those views and that's what they care about. I think that we should talk more about these Netflix shows that are good, that we love and we appreciate, so that we can kind of show Netflix like, hey, we want to watch this stuff, not The Circle. See, actually, no, because I actually applied to be on The Circle. I'll let you guys know if I get it. But I mean, like, shows that are just like mind numbing and that have no substance are fun to watch, you know. Like, I watch so many, like I said, documentaries. They go in one ear, not the other. It's background music. I listen to it when I'm studying, like when I'm doing homework and like taking tests, you know. So I think Netflix has the ability of like having like background noise and things for whatever activities you may be doing. And even like when I go to sleep, I will turn on a random thing and I will just go to sleep to it, because Netflix has that ability. But I also think that Netflix needs those shows that are just so good that you want to get the platform. Like, I wanted to get Netflix because of House of Cards, because I heard about how good the show was, and it was so good. But then, God, Kevin Spacey. But really, Netflix has such great such great shows. Like, some of my favorite shows: Midnight Gospel, BoJack Horseman. Like, some like those shows mean so much to me, and like I connect with them on such a deep level. But those shows get muffled out by these random shows like Will It Cake, or Is It Cake, or whatever it is, or the BS game show, or these just random just like fluff shows that get so much attention because of how wacky and crazy they are. And yes, I am a marketing student, so I know what's happening. I know why they're doing it, but it doesn't mean that I'm okay with it. It doesn't mean that I like it. I think that Netflix has the opportunity to kind of get back. They spend so much money on the dumbest shows, you know, and Stranger Things is great. I think that this is my little college brand since I graduate next semester, saying they need to step up their marketing. Like, if you haven't watched it, watch the film theory video on Netflix on how to save Netflix. Great video. That's what I would tell Netflix to do, you know. But I think that Netflix just has so much stuff. It's like Bo Burnham says, it's like the internet. Like, you're just flooded with so much stuff, and you have this endless amount of content, which is great for people like me who need to be constantly engaging with something to do basic tasks like eating, or driving, or really anything. I need to have other things happening at the same time, you know. But that's, you know, just me. And Netflix is great for that. Netflix can bring people together, but also Netflix doesn't need to have doesn't need half of the stuff that's on there. And I think if they focus more on the shows that are great, try to give more shows that we can have fan merch for, that we can do things for, would be really good for Netflix, you know. That's all I'm saying. My final thoughts are, am I gonna delete Netflix? No. Am I still gonna use my dad's Netflix? Of course. And if they ban password sharing, then I'm just going to use. And I don't support pirating things. I do support the film industry, and I think that it's important to pay for movies, watch your TV shows, because actors, work so hard and they deserve all the money that they can get. However, if Netflix decides to lock me out of my account for sharing an account with my dad, I'm watching everything illegally and you can't stop me. I don't know. Is it technically illegal? I don't know the rules on pirating TV shows and movies, but that was a joke. I'm not being serious. Why would I tell you that I would be doing something illegal? I like Netflix. I really do. And I don't want to have to get rid of Netflix, or I don't want to have to not have access to Netflix, rather, because I'm not paying for it. Because it just means so much to me. And I have so many shows. Like, when I tell you, I have rewatched The View from Halfway Down BoJack Horseman episode at least 30 times. I love Netflix. I love the binging of content that is so, like, not rare, but Netflix started, like, watching a whole season in one day. Gives me joy. I love it. You know, and out of all my streaming platforms that I watch, like Crunchyroll and HBO Max and Hulu, I love Netflix, that I can go to Netflix and I can find a random show and I can just watch everything, and I have so much enjoyment. And I know some people, their brains don't do well with binging content. Me, I love it. It's the best thing. I hate waiting. It makes me angry. It reminds me of when I was younger and I was waiting for new episodes of, like, The Adventures of Billy and Mandy to air. You know, I don't like it. It makes me annoyed and I have to wait every single week on the same day. I'm watching Spy Family right now, and having to wait every single Saturday to watch that show makes me angry, but I still do it because I love it so much and I don't want to get spoiled on TikTok. But yeah, that's the video. This is what happens when we do late night videos. I just chatter. I chatter. I never stop talking. But if you guys like this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up because it helps little channels like mine. Make sure to comment down below your opinions on Netflix, your favorite Netflix shows, what shows that got canceled that you wish that didn't, some Netflix shows that you don't like. Just give me your general thoughts or feelings. Do you pay for your own Netflix or do you use someone else's? I'm curious. Also subscribe to me if you would like to, because I am great and I'm also about to fall asleep. I can feel my eyes like drooping. So that's cool. Make sure to stay happy, stay healthy, and stay safe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye guys.